At 7 years old, I didn't know what life was supposed to be. I didn't know about struggle or success or the weight of dreams. But I knew fear. I knew silence. And I knew the night sometimes felt too long, too heavy, too cold. I remember one night, especially. The wind outside was howling, not just a soft whistle, but a roar that rattled the windows. Lightning flashed across the ceiling, and thunder growled right after. I lay there in my bed, eyes wide open, counting the seconds between the flash and the rumble, like someone had taught me, as if knowing the distance made the storm less terrifying. But it didn't. My blanket didn't help. The stuffed animal next to me didn't help. Nothing felt safe. And then I heard her footsteps, soft, slow, almost silent, like she already knew how scared I was and didn't want to startle me more. The door creaked open, and the light from the hallway spilled into my room like a soft hand reaching out. My mother didn't say a word at first. She just sat beside me. She brushed the hair from my forehead. Her hand, warm, steady, familiar, rested on my chest. She didn't tell me the storm would pass. She didn't promise me that everything would be okay. Instead, she whispered a prayer. Only a few words, so quiet, I almost didn't catch them. But somehow, they settled into me like seeds in the soil. May your heart stay brave, your mind stay clear, and your soul stay kind. That was it. No long speech, no complicated lesson, just those words. At the time, I didn't fully understand. I didn't ask her to repeat it, but something in the way she said it made me feel safe. Not because the storm stopped. It didn't, but because I stopped fearing it. That was the first time I heard the prayer. And now, so many years later, I still hear it. When I close my eyes. When I feel the pressure rising. When I'm standing on the edge of something new and uncertain. When the weight of the world feels unbearable. I hear her. That voice. That night. That prayer. It followed me through everything. Through childhood. Through teenage confusion. Through heartbreak and hope. Through failures I didn't think I'd survive, and victories that felt like miracles. It echoed in the back of my mind during long nights of study when I was chasing something I couldn't name. A purpose, a direction, a calling. It was there when I felt alone in a crowded room, when I didn't know who I was or what I was meant to do. It was there when people said I was crazy, when they laughed at my ideas, when things I'd built broke apart, when I ran out of money, when I was mocked, misquoted, misunderstood. It was there when I sat in silence, doubting myself, when I was afraid that maybe I didn't have what it takes, that maybe I had already gone too far, and it was too late to turn back. And in those moments, I'd whisper it back to myself, softly, like she did. May your heart stay brave, your mind stay clear, and your soul stay kind. Bravery isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to get up again, to try again, to believe when no one else does. Clarity isn't certainty. It's the light you carry when nothing around you makes sense. It's the compass inside you when the maps are all torn. Kindness. Kindness is strength in its gentlest form. It's how you hold on to your humanity when success tempts you to forget. It's how you stay real in a world that begs you to become harder, colder, sharper. I didn't realize it then, but that prayer was my foundation. It was the first lesson I ever truly learned. Before science, before engineering, before business, before fame. It wasn't a formula. It wasn't strategy. It was soul. She gave me something that would last longer than any invention. A quiet truth, a guiding light. A North Star that never moved, even when everything else did. And it didn't just help me. It shaped me. It shaped how I treated people, how I led, how I failed, how I began again. Because life, real life, doesn't move in straight lines. It rises and falls. It crashes and rebuilds. It breaks you, then remakes you. And through it all, we need something. Not just a plan, not just money or success or even talent. We need an anchor. For me, it was her voice. That moment, that prayer. And I wonder, what was whispered to you? Was it a song? A story? A hug in the middle of the night? A quiet truth passed down from someone who loved you before you knew what love meant? Because here's the truth. We all carry something. Something that lives deeper than memory. Something that stays when everything else fades. A voice. A feeling. A prayer. And sometimes in our chase to build the future, we forget what built us. But I haven't forgotten. At 7 years old, my mother didn't give me a map to follow. She didn't hand me answers. She just reminded me of who I already was and who I could become. And that reminder has never left me. It stayed through the failures. It stayed through the breakthroughs. It stayed when I stood alone. It stayed when the spotlight was bright. And when no one was watching, it stayed. Because it was never just a prayer. It was love shaped into words. It was strength disguised as softness. It was her and everything she hoped I'd carry with me when she couldn't be there. I still hear her. On the hard days, on the quiet ones, even now, and I hope wherever she is. She knows her whisper became a roar inside me. A roar made of courage, clarity, and compassion. So now I whisper it to you. Not because you need fixing, not because you're broken, but because I believe you already have everything it takes. You just need to remember. So I'll say it one more time, not as a message from me, but as a gift from her. May your heart stay brave, your mind stay clear, and your soul stay kind, always.